April 27th, 2025. I played the tape from yesterday of being in Outback, go in the bathroom. Some girl comes and gets in the other stall crying. My dad called me. Said he'd been reading what she's been writing. I feel bad about everything. He didn't know all those other people were involved. And she's crying. We just wanted Dave to get everything. Why would you want a bastard that's cheating on his wife? Hired the Florida drug cartel, the men that work for Judge Peters, to get, that's a human traffickers. It is documented and verified by the police and the FBI. It was the cartel in my home before. Cartel. Hired the cartel to run a drug scam of photoshopping and washing and date rape drug confessions. The fake sodium pentothal reports. Okay? And having his wife beat, raped, and drugged. And the poor thing, when she comes out of it, is throwing up, dizzy, almost passing out. Orange, lemon, and grapefruit-sized bruises all over him. Severely infected till their personal area is pushed open and down, and had to go to the doctor. And every time I'd pee, I'd scream. And blaming the dirty well water I'm showering in for causing everything. Never seen or talked to anybody. Never even had my neighbors in my home. How would you like to take a drink out of a Diet Coke, the room go dizzy and black, or wake up with injection marks, throwing up, almost passing out, migraine headache, orange, lemon, and grapefruit-sized bruises, and a severe personal infection, and have no idea what happened to you? And you're blaming the dirty well water, thinking it's giving you cancer. And they got drug confessions, and idiots had beat and raped you. Lost 18 pounds before I called the FBI. Another 70 in protected custody. And they were bragging where he had bruises before, throwing up and infected. It wasn't the well water, it was us. We had drugged you and told you to say this, that, da. We erased some guy named Chris out of the room. I don't know a Chris, but they talked about him. We photoshopped all our lies. And that's how they put it. A feminine might be above the toilet by January 19, and by 21, it was a shower scene of washing yourself. Okay? And how many times have they confessed they drugged me and told me to say it? So many times it's not even funny. Made fun of the FBI, Lighthouse Tabernacle. June 7th, 23, how they fooled Agent John with him. Publicly mocking him. November 18th, 22, Eric, one of the drug dealers, laughed and confessed that everything was him and not me, and done for a stunt for people to turn on her. And they fell for For all the tapes before were me and not her. It was my idea to come up with it. My idea to do it. My idea to say it. For all these people to turn on her, and they fell for Lighthouse Tabernacle, June 7th, 23. FBI agent John fell for the stunt of tapes before. Oh, come on now. That FBI agent fell for it. It was only a stunt. You're kidding. You mean John actually fell for it? Oh, come on now. You mean that FBI agent John fell for the stunt of tapes before that were only a stunt? And then yell at his name and title and cackle. They sold videos of it. Like the Stark County Sheriffs, we all have, no, they made fun of that Agent John for falling for this. Just like the first month of the case, a little white man came up to me. I had a lemon-sized bruise on my leg. For every idle word you tell on us, I'll turn it on you. You try to leave Dave, I'll list you a child molester. You know that bruise on your leg? I used sodium pentothal on you. No, he stuck me with a date rape drug in my sleep. You told me, now I've never even seen him. You told me that you were wearing this one nightgown, accidentally bent over improperly once. I accidentally seen your butt and had a life of pain because of it. And then threatened me again. What did he confess to? He was working for Dave, drugging me up and telling me say lies. And illegally bought house. Dave debunked it. I was dressed modestly and they only made fun of the back of my knees. In August of 23, Officer Mark documented verified that it was the drug cartel in my home before, and I was framed by the drug cartel. Told a lady real loud across the parking lot, none of this is funny. He said, did our ex-husband defend her? He said, yes, we taped him. So did I. Did anybody ever talk to her? No. Then they had to have framed her before. It's documented and verified she was framed before. Was it the drug cartel? Yes, we seen them. So who was in my home? The drug cartel. It's also documented and verified another woman was using her insurance, and it was a medication error made her sick before. May 25th, 21, 6 p.m., Wendy's in Louisville. Are the church people breaking in before, drugging her and telling her to say weirdo molester stuff? That's not funny. It was all over town. 1295 Fairlawn Middle apartment. Little white lady screamed at him. Talked to several people in 21. Memorial Day weekend 21. That Lauren and Michelle, the heavyset blonde girls, some of the cartel was, they were part of the Florida cartel. They were down at the end of Fairlawn Street. She's yelling at him while I'm working on Fairlawn Street. Are you crazy? You can't enter a drug confession. Well, we just found out they drugged her and told her what to say before. That was 21. 8/9/21, the apartment building for me, second closest to the fence. There was a lady and little girls that lived there. They were outside talking about being drugged and told to say it before. 4 or 5 neighbors got together, did a police report. November 1st to 3rd of 21, an African-American lady in Save-A-Lot found out they made everything up on me, telling people to stay out of it. December 9th, 21, 4 p.m., at the Oakland apartment on Cleveland Avenue, maintenance man, they told him all the tapes before were them and not her. It's just a bunch of men doing crimes down here to see if someone will stop them. Same day, white man bald with dark eyes distributing food at the Stark County Hunger Task Force on 9th Street in Canton was one of my guards. Came out and said we always knew the tapes before were them and not her. So we never said a word. January 1922. At 11 o'clock in the morning, they told the Department of Disability I was drugged and told to say it before. February 2nd, 22, Burlington Coat Factory, a Latino man admitted he drugged me first and told me to say it. The client I was with, we get outside. I heard that Latino man admit to drugging you first. I'm like, stay out of it. I'll tell the police. I never talked to anybody before. I only had bruises. I was sick. We went into Save-A-Lot, and where they send their hate crime through cell phones. Their phones are dinging, and they start running. Oh my goodness, they admitted to drugging her and telling her to say it before. Down on 6th Street in Canton, people were running out of their houses yelling it to the postman. We all heard it. An investigator from Ravenna drives a black Sebring, pulled up and said, I seen her out today. I found out that bastard really did drug her and tell her to say it before. March 24th, 22, 1:30, they admitted to framing me. November 18th, 22, Eric, one of the drug dealers, confessed all the tapes before were me and not her, and it was my idea to come up with it, my idea to do it, my idea to say it for all these people to turn on, they fell for it. Danny and Jen, Christmas Eve of 22, denied knowing of any button cameras. They did not know of anything of a shower scene of washing yourself and putting it in the other room to make you look weird. They knew I had giant bruises, throwing up and almost passing out in front of people, but they did not know somebody was drugging me up and telling me to say stuff and beating on me. They were not part of it. Neither did the kids know it. June 7th, 23, Lighthouse Tabernacle made fun of FBI Agent John. FBI Agent John fell for the stunt I tasted before. Oh, come on now. That FBI agent fell for that. It was only a stunt. You're kidding. FBI Agent John actually fell for that? You mean John fell for it? You mean that FBI agent actually fell for a stunt I tasted before that were only a stunt? You're kidding. Name and title and cackle, stole videos of it. Like last year, some little kid said I seen a video of them making fun of Will. In September of 23, up on Forest Grove Drive, some lady and guy walked by me and my client in Akron. Some of the drug dealers they hired to watch her don't even find this funny anymore. She do anything wrong? No. The drug dealers confess they photoshopped everything, made fun of the FBI for falling for everything. Are they going to do anything about it? We don't know. And none of this is funny. I asked her ex-husband if the doctors ever said it was a medication error that made her sick before. He said yes, and they did encourage them to sue them for years. And he didn't say a word and let all those people hurt her. And not... June 23rd to July 4th of 23, they said they went to a party, the people doing this, and were the life of the party, how they made fools out of everyone into helping out. Made fools of them. They were screaming about it in Hartville and Akron that day. December 20th, 24, they said the people doing this were driving around laughing how they fooled everybody again. March 1st to 3rd of 21, they said they put two clips together, put her in a porn. It's not her, it's them. Their tapes are so altered. March 13, 21, the nurse at Mercy Medical, a lady had came in, no man was ever to touch her. And a few minutes later, the nurse comes in with a guy. The only thing they had you on was adjusting yourself. The guy said, that's sick. Said, no, it's actually funny. She simply wiped off water with clothes on. He said, that's sick. She said, no, it's funny. She just brushed it off. They didn't have anything else. It's actually funny. Then they started saying after that, you touch yourself, you expose yourself, you touch yourself, look weird. Man, my stomach bleed. It's like, what else did you do to me? Because simply brushing off water with clothes on is not wrong. And I thought, well, you put my head on somebody else's body. It's clips together. Then I got to thinking, what would you be doing? Sounds like you undressed and got in the shower and you washed yourself. Went outside to smoke. She figured out what they did. May 12th, 22 at noon, they found a tape of them emitting a shower scene in the other room. May 26th, 22 at noon, the shower scene was done on purpose to make you look weird. August of 23, Officer Mark told the lady real loud in Kohl's parking lot, "None of this is funny." Did her ex-husband defend her? He said, "Yes, we taped him." Did anybody ever speak to her? He said, "No." Then she's like, "Well, they had to have framed her." He said, "It's documented and verified she was framed before." Was it the drug cartel? Yes, we've seen them. It's documented and verified another woman was using her insurance before, and it was a medication error that made her sick before. She's like, "None of this is funny." He said, "I know it's not." On Thanksgiving of 18, an illegally bogged house for an FBI case. John's kids in the basement. They were playing boo, taking each one of us down there to scare us, and because they're little, we're just making them happy. Go down and act scared. On the third step up, they said the house wasn't meant for Grandma, it was meant for Auntie Chow and Papa. I look down there on huddle, saying crazy crap. I go sit by Dixie and the baby, thinking I have to die for a shell. Flora comes running up there saying mean things in the basement. Dixie said, "Stay out of it." I go up to John. "What's going on?" He's like, "I don't know, Mom." He said, "I told Melissa, his ex-wife, that goes to a lighthouse, that made fun of FBI agent John. He said, "I told her you're moving out and going through a divorce. She'll just have the kids make up something because of that, because you're going to be moving out and going through a divorce. But nobody can say anything bad about you, so don't worry about it." He said, "She'll have her church people make up something too. But don't worry about it. Nobody can say anything bad about you. It'll just be because of the divorce and you're moving out." I said, "You shouldn't have said anything till it happened." "Well, I did. And because I did, and nobody can say anything bad about you, and it's just going to be made up, don't worry about it." And he shoos me. So to clarify everything, I called Dave. We talk about it, and I taped him. And he said, "Karen, you're good to the kids. You're good to the grandkids. You would never hurt anyone. You're good to everyone, no matter who it is." We talk about the Melissa going to have the kids make it up because of the divorce. And John didn't know what they were going to say or anything else. And it was only going to be made up because of the divorce. Okay? And that Melissa would have her church people make up something too. Okay? I went to Josh. He defended me too. Okay? Now, January 12th, 22, Walgreens, North Main. Officer John gets in two big guys' faces. They said, "What did those kids get caught stating?" They made everything up. The FBI and police, right after Thanksgiving of 18, had a huddle in the front of Walmart. Why are they having those kids make all that shit up? Said, "Oh, they're just trying to scare her out of the house. That's it. We interviewed her whole family. They spoke highly of her." Same ones, June 23rd to July 4th, of what are these people talking about? We interviewed her whole family a long time ago. They spoke highly of her. Or she never hurt anyone. Girls that dated the drug dealers, oh my goodness, the boys had a drugger to make her say that stuff. Nobody mentions those tapes again. The same one, March 23rd, 23, came in. We told these people to stay out of it. We interviewed her whole family a long time ago. She's never hurt anyone. Nobody's ever seen anything. And if some lady thought she could make some money out of it. That was FBI yelling at you. A week ago Saturday, today's Sunday, so on the 19th, April 19th, a Saturday of 25, I'm in Hartville Flea Market. The FBI's in there. And if they didn't want you to know, they wouldn't have showed up and said something. You wouldn't believe how stupid all these people are that did this. She calls the FBI hotline. They immediately walk into an FBI office and confess they are illegally monitoring her. That's a federal crime. You know that, right? Cyber stalking someone. You didn't get special permission from the chief of police. There's no such thing. Said, and trust me, nobody fell for a dirty doctor taping you unaware before, confessing of crimes, and sat on it till Dave wanted a divorce. Nobody fell for that. And then it sounded mechanical. We knew they altered it. The voice alternator, where they copied that agent's voice, Ron Karen's will. Karen's only to hear Will's voice and would put it through their Bluetooth, where they copied Carl's voice a year ago. And we're outside my clients, and it sounded a little different, but it sounded like Carl. They're supposed to have a Karen app. You can get them on Google Play, Amazon, any techie store. You copy somebody's voice, you talk through it, and you sound like them. And nobody fell for the weird with yourself. We knew everything was photoshopped. These people, that Dixie thinks she can extort money out of people. She said they all do. Well, they're going to learn. And trust me, when we take care of this, we'll take care of it swiftly. April 28th, 24. Tomorrow. Your anniversary. Walk into Walmart on the Strip. Guy comes in, I listen to the recorded line. That agent did confess to telling on her before, and he did talk to her like that. They better do something about it. North Canton Jackson officer in uniform shows up. Karen, I was listening to this today. We all know nobody drugs anybody but the drug cartel. It was a drug cartel in your home before. We all know that guy told on you before. I want to know how he heard it. And he takes off after him. Some guy named Kurt, where Melissa's kids got caught stating in the basement they made everything up. They were games of pretend. Okay? Melissa caught telling the kids to lie. FBI informant, where Dave said you got all those men around you. He didn't realize they were cops. They were around everyone. Okay? Well, some guy named Kurt fell for it, and the Stark County Sheriff's in uniform called him slow in May of 21. He tells everybody to stay out of this. All right? Some guy's on the phone with him, standing in by the clothing aisle in between the between the food aisle and the women's clothing. Said, Kurt, none of this is funny. The police have her whole family taped defending her. All saying they didn't know anything about this. And those people admitting they drugged her and told her to say it before, photoshopped everything and made everything up on her. None of this is funny. And they have that agent over her case admitting he told on her on a recorded line. None of this is funny. Stay out of it. Go up front. Pam and her granddaughter. Uncle Dave said he had someone tape her before. Oh, they'll verify it. I walk outside. Investigators bust out laughing. bust out laughing. Took her long enough to confess she was in it with Dave in those stalking tapes. Because they're considered stalking tapes. We already have her whole family, the police already have her whole family taped defending her, saying they didn't know anything about it. And these people admitting they drugged her and told her to say it before, photoshopped everything and made everything up on her. If her kids ever verified anything on those tapes, they would have been in it with Dave trying to kill her and trying to cover it up. They would go to jail for it. Now, the FBI a week ago Saturday, 8 days ago, on the 19th, they said the investigators about died when she asked for her money to help her children. That Officer John told him that she was willing to die to help save her children when Dave threatened to kill them all. And she didn't know her 2 older boys were in it with Dave the whole time. Even trying to frame her youngest son that didn't even know anything. As a mother, it is ripping my heart and chest out. On April 17th, 25, Sheetz parking lot, where Michelle had already confessed to an agent that March 27th, 25, outside my work, an agent showed up, and he was real loud. I broke up with Michelle tonight. She had confessed to me that she tried to have her killed when they bashed in her head or leave her incompetent. And the reason why she don't know who that doctor is, it's not one of hers. He works for them, and they lied. He said Dave was telling everyone that he was forced to marry her. No one in the church forced him to marry her. Finally got it out of Dave. It was a girlfriend before their marriage. Told him to marry her so he could get a job at her dad's factory. She could use the insurance and have free insurance. And he could give her extra money. The other woman using my insurance was Dave's girlfriend from before me. They scammed me in to marry me so my dad would give him a good job. He only made $80 a week working at John Cowgill's. And my brother-in-law would go to church and brag he made $500 to $1,000 a week. He married me for that job. Him and his girlfriend came up with a scam to marry me. And that way, because back then you didn't show ID. You could go in the hospital, have surgery, have treatment, go to any doctor. Just fill it out. If you didn't bring your insurance card, you can just call it in later. You never proved who you were. She used my insurance and ran up $50,000 to $100,000 in copays over 15 years. My brother knew of her, my mom, some lady using my insurance. Argued even with Altman Hospital. I want to talk about your stay here. I haven't stayed in your hospital in years. You see Dr. So-and-so, never heard of him. Tell him of this lady using my insurance. And she said, well, we sat and talked, ma'am, I've never met you. You said you have 2 little girls. I have 3 boys. Your insurance is this? Yes, click. Dave's wages were attached several times, and other times we had to hurry up and pay the bills. $3,500, $2,500, $1,200. She went Harry Carey on my insurance. Kay McMillan told Dave there was rumors of him cheating on me. A heavy-set, white, round woman I had heard had showed up at the factory. I told my brother to get me proof of him cheating. But back then, the phone was attached to the wall. Didn't have cell phones. It's a hot factory that is melting chemicals into rubber. Custom mixing it. You couldn't carry a camera around in there. I said, get me some kind of proof. And he kept saying, Karen, I would never cheat on you. They're lying, trying to break us up. And here it's his girlfriend. They came up with this whole scam for her to have free insurance and money. Back then in 1985, your money is worth 3 times as much now. It's like saying he got a $155,000 a year job. That's why he married me. That's why he could beat on me anytime he got angry. That's how he could hire these men to drug, beat, and rape me and try to kill me for a new girlfriend showing off. Oh, that idiot's outside of my old apartment. The one that likes to go around telling everybody he was part of the drug and cartel, Florida Judge Peters group, that were drug, beat, and rape me. Defrauded the FBI. He likes to brag how he was in the office with that agent when they were defrauding him. Where that church sent out emails asking other religious groups that his religious group is so godless, they show up to help harm people. And that he was in that agent's office when they asked her about that doctor. And she said she didn't know who he was. He knew she was lying. God of heaven. It's not what the FBI said. The FBI said last Saturday, nobody fell for that dirty doctor thing. And if those people were going to be so dumb and try to pull it with the FBI, we told Agent John to go up to that church and act as dumb as they are to find out who's all involved. He was purposely. So if they had been there, he even said they were there from the beginning. Did he know it was the Florida drug cartel? Yeah. Did he know they were drug, beating, raping me? Yeah. Is he probably one of my rapists? Yes. He helps trying to run extortions on people with the drug cartel. He's in it with the Florida drug cartel. Running scams on people. He's part of selling kiddie porn of little kids going potty. Like a CIA agent said to me, a retired one, you knew of the tapes before and you didn't report them. You are an accessory to child pornography and all the crimes that happen. And you can be charged with that. And like the FBI said last Saturday, they have that girl under, okay. Getting back to where that agent got, he said, I even went to the family that were saying it offended him. They called her a faker. They even said they never offended him. It had nothing to do with him. They just said that and lied just so people would help out. That man needs a bonus. He got Dave to confess the girl using my insurance was his girlfriend. He got Michelle to confess that it wasn't my doctor. They lied. He works for them. And that she had tried to have me killed. So, April 17th, 25, Sheets parking lot in Hartville. Blonde girl walks out. White pants, pink t-shirt, long blonde hair. Walks up to an SUV. She starts talking. All the other SUVs driving around stop. I talked to the police up there and they said, how stupid was I? Confessing to that guy that doctor was not hers and that we had lied. And that she was part of trying to have me killed when they bashed in my head. That he's an agent and she's an informant, and we're all going to end up in jail for this. And I really liked him. So the FBI on the 19th showed up and said, we got that girl under surveillance, confessing, police surveillance, that doctor was not hers. They lied. And she was part of trying to have her killed. A couple days ago, up in Summit Mall in Fairlawn, I was up there visiting my brother. There was a Texas group up there. There was a Iraqi with his Muslim wife and full hijab and everything. A couple of the cartels, girls from the cartel, from the Florida cartel, walking by in skimpy shorts, laughing. Michelle told on him that doctor was not even hers. Nobody say a word and they're laughing. She actually told on him. There's a guy walking around us speaking another language. Other people staring at me. Okay? And a guy off in the distance. You tell that Will, the scam that he was to pull to get into the cartel or to join us. You tell that Will, that scam he was supposed to pull here to join us, that it was ruined. Michelle told on him. You tell him to take care of her. Yesterday, outside my work, there's a guy that talks to the Indian family that is supposed to have bought me in January 19. Older Indian guy showed up when I was getting my stomach scoped. My beautiful, beautiful princess. You tell those people to make sure nothing happened to my beautiful princess. Was outside, and the guy is talking to him on speaker, and he's talking so fast, he's rambling. Oh my goodness, we found a tape of the FBI calling the people that did this to her dumb. And that they never fooled him, and they never believed of the dirty doctor. They knew it was altered and that everything was photoshopped, and called him dumb for trying for this. Okay? And that they have Michelle taped. And that this whole thing is an initiation for that guy Will to get in, run a scam to get in the cartel. That is that freaky guy Bill from the Freemasons. You know how he is. Having everybody watch her and say stuff. That's what they said in 19 when they confronted him. The Freemasons confront him. Bill, you have all these people watch her, show up and say stuff, and she won't even look at you. And you tell everybody you like her. And she won't even look at you. Oh, you're confessing you're paying for all this? Hell no, I won't look at you. Well, that's what that Indian family said. He's the one paying everybody to follow me around and harass me. They're like, they did that guy was going on. They did all these things to her. And this was just his initiation to get in the drug cartel. To pull off the scam here. And now they're threatening Michelle. For telling on him. Okay. Now, okay. Today, I was at Old Carolina's, or Virginia, sorry. Virginia's restaurant in Carrollton. I go to use the bathroom. There's somebody outside, some guy, and he's saying shit to me. Now, my new husband, he's a sweetie. He washed my laundry. He used a different laundry soap with fabric softener. My skin's been itching. Irritates, burns a little. Okay, a lot. Been scratching. And scratching and scratching and scratching. It's not good. It's like, don't use that laundry soap on my clothes again. Okay? Well, last night, it's hot. Sitting here like scratch. Well, on the back of your toes, you just go like this. Okay? Some idiot said, under police surveillance, she was weird with herself. No, I scratched the back of my butt. And it just because of the stupid laundry soap, and it was hot in here. And it's on the outside of my clothes doing this. Weirdo? That's not being weird with yourself. They see how much shit they make up? Do you realize how much shit? Took her long enough to... I never was weird with myself. See, I get tired of the drug cartel and Bill from the Freemasons sending people to yell out shit. On the outside of my clothes, all I did is this. Just a scratch. Real quick. Huh? Then show up and say that. Took her long, what, to scratch my hind end? Oh, on the outside of my clothes like this? Who cares? Who cares? I'm in my own room and you just go to... because the clothes are burning. Huh? And it's none of your damn business, nor was I weird with myself. You know, I go to McDonald's and my stomach is turning. I go in to use the bathroom and somebody's outside saying some guy's been following her all day today. We found out they sold her to 2 different guys. And we're afraid someone's going to grab her. And we all know even that thing on the back of her rear end bothers her. What was that guy saying? Oh, yeah, where Dave sexually assaulted me. Karen, I can't stay interested in you. I roll over and cry, and then he takes his whole hand and shoves it up my ass and pulls it out, and I'm screaming, why? And blood is pouring down my butt, and I have to go in there, and he pulled out a blood vessel. And it takes surgery to fix it. And then where I was tortured July to September 19, when they got done torturing me, they rolled me over and I was still paralyzed from the drugs and took turns butt raping me. The blood vessel is displaced. And yeah, after what those people did to her, we know that thing on her butt bothers her. Yeah, it's quite large. It takes surgery to remove it. But yeah, they said some guy had been following me all day today. He showed up to yell out that crap while I'm trying to go to the bathroom. Yeah. Think about how weirdos, that Bill from the Freemasons having people trying to pull his drug scam here. Like that Indian family, all this was for initiation for him to get in the drug cartel. They did all those things to her. You know what, Bill from the Freemasons, you're such a freaking weirdo. You're a freaking weirdo. You know, if you have to pull a scam to get in the cartel, you think you would do it on a little business owner. A little business owner that has no connections. You know, you do it in somebody's home. You have no education and no IQ. You have not a brain cell. You would know the right to privacy of your home. Police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life with statements. And they would be considered stalking tapes and not admissible. And if you actually took time to use the word Google, it is illegal for a doctor to tape you unaware. They're still considered stalking tapes, not admissible. It is illegal for a doctor to ask you dirty, filthy criminal questions and talk to you in such a misconduct that they would lose their license and you could report them for sexual misconduct and they would go to jail. It is illegal If they know somebody's being hurt, they know it's happening. They can, under HIPAA and Privacy Acts, they can't say anything you said to them. By law, without your written consent. They can't acknowledge they've seen you. They can't say anything you said. They go to jail 1 to 5 years. Okay? But if they know somebody's getting hurt, they have to give a tip to the police. There may be a situation at blah, 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 blah. And then stay out of it. Can't tell them how they know and let the police do their job. Or what happens? They lose their license forever. And they go to jail as an accessory. Like they said, these people did not realize the word doctor on their scam, how illegal it would be. That doctor would go to jail regardless. And then you want to even think of the situation. It had been a freaking sideshow. Like the FBI called the people that did this to me dumb. You wouldn't believe how dumb they are. She calls the FBI hotline for help, and immediately they walk into an FBI office and confess. They're illegally monitored. That cyber stalking is 12 to 15 years. That they have photoshopping and washing. Fakes. They try to say they had sodium pentothal reports. They were drugging me to get me to say stuff. Framing me. To the FBI. Okay? And they're doing it on their own. And they're saying they're trying to have me killed because some idiot minister called me a faker 15 years ago. And some dirty doctor. Now, is any of your doctors allowed to talk to Dave? No. A Nicole? No. Can they be considered going along with an accessory of trying to have somebody murdered and cover it up? No. Then the doctor's like, hey ho, I'm with the killers. The people trying to kill her, I'm trying to help them cover it up. It's that stupid. You getting why they didn't buy it? Bill from the Freemasons, you're a retard. You're a retard. Didn't think this one out, sweetie, did you? HIPAA violations, Privacy Act. He couldn't even be seen with them. And then you're saying he's in it with a killer, so he's part of the scam. Didn't think it out, honey, did you? And it's illegal for a doctor to tape you unaware. It's considered cyber stalking. Think of Nixon bugging out office. Got impeached. He almost went to jail. They're not allowed to disclose anything you say to them. They're not allowed to sit on crimes. And like the FBI said, nobody fell for it. And then you could tell it was altered and it sounded mechanical. Okay? And they wanted to find out who all was involved with it. And trust me, when that other group showed up and said they worked for a drug lord and Dave hired them, nobody thought this was funny. Or they realized how not funny it was. The other part, and the ones that were doing it to me before, over 3,000 people seen them at Big Family Church. It's a mega church. And that they work for Judge Peters and they were from Florida. I was talking to Tess about it. I said, remember those men from Florida that said they were the ones harming me at church? I remember seeing them. I said they worked for Judge Peters. She said, I know. This thing blew up so much out of proportion. It took them a really long time to get a hold of it. They were bragging how they were doing it to me before. Michelle was with them. Some of them were impersonating the FBI, harming me. The one guy that tortured me as a fake FBI agent. Some of them impersonated the Portage County sheriffs. Will, where you told me to trust no man, boy, were you right. It was a drug cartel scam. Now I want you to think where this is the whole thing is an initiation for Bill to get in the drug cartel, run a big scam here, prove he could pull one. How stupid was he? Now they know I'm an informant. They know that the FBI opened a real case. And there's legal police surveillance. Has all the cartels come here, breaking their crimes under legal police surveillance. And where they had their own little gigs in each little state. They all show up here. And they got them. They just had to go wait and get everybody involved and go get them. Where the FBI said we could go on Saturday. Trust me, the government was never going to let this just go. I'm proud of Danny and Jen. On April 6, 25, Carl and I go over to Danny and Jen's. Jen comes out, why don't you come on in? Dixie and the girls are there. And I said, are you sure? And she said, yeah, I go in. She always said, I can't have you around. I'm too scared of these people. It was all an act. We sit down. She gets up and she walks about 7 feet from me around to the kitchen. And you can still see her. And she's like, nobody thinks it's funny, her marrying that old man. Some lady investigator showed up and said she can extort money out of the government for me and Melissa. I gave her permission on tape that she could tape me of knowing of Melissa's kids' mean games at pretend and the gunshot night and Dave breaking to me. Even though I gave her permission, that lady said she can extort all kinds of money out of the government for me, and out of that old man I'll take all his money. And when he dies, she'll have nothing, and it'll all be mine. Psycho. And Melissa said, she told Melissa she can extort all kinds of money out of the government for her, too. And Melissa said the group of people they hire to watch her and do all those things. Oh, Melissa confessed she's part of that. Thank you. Said the chief of police up there gives special permissions to groups of people to break in other people's homes. That's nuts. And I bet he didn't even know of it. There's no such thing as special permission. And to do things to people, which way that they describe it, it totally made sense. For what a mindless boob. The drug cartel, he's given permission for the Florida drug cartel to break in and drug people up for fake confessions, Photoshop washing, and beat and rape women and sell kiddie porn of little kids going potty. You didn't get permission for that. There's no such thing as permission. It's cold, hard court orders. And Jen said some lady showed up and asked me if I knew anything about the tapes before. She said she knew nothing and she was not part of it. And she asked me if I knew a tape of Weird with herself. Said we knew nothing and we were not part of it, nor will we have any part of this. She had giant bruises all over, and I told that lady, and they were everywhere. I seen them. Oh, they're also documented by a doctor. The severe personal affection, throwing up, dizzy, almost passing out, muscle pain, all the signs of being drugged, beaten, raped. Altman Family Physicians. Behind Altman Hospital. I was talking to Altman Family last year. I said in 18, the summer 18, I was seen for all that. Yes. I said I found out my ex-husband was having me drugged for fake confession and beaten, raped. under drugs. She's like, is that what um, was causing all that? Your ex-husband is a vile, sick animal. The people that did this to me are animals. Okay? And Jen said, I told that lady she had giant bruises everywhere. And I seen them. And we want no part of this. Dixie's like, that means nothing. Yes, it does. And I realized with some of the stuff she's been saying what was going on up there. And I want no part of it. I've been talking to her about like Mike in the other apartment building. They reviewed him. I went to go out to leave one morning and he didn't know how he got home, didn't know how he changed his shoes, didn't know how he got money in his pocket, and then tried to tell me it was a New York cop and thought I was pretty. He was stoned out of his mind. Didn't even remember saying it, didn't know how he got out of the bar. Found out he had told people during the second beer that he was an astronaut, swore at some, and then left and took himself out all night. A U.S. Marshals kid, I met her. She took a drink in her room, went dizzy and black. Like me, she don't know what happened to her one night, and another night it happened at another bar. She ended up in the hospital, did not know how she got out of the bar. Dar, my one coworker, had a set of twins. One died. Our friends took her out for a friend's night out because she's sitting around crying around the house. She took a drink. They said she acted a little happy, went back to talking, acting normal. And a group of people came up that they didn't know, and she was talking and acting fine, left with them. She found herself in a puddle piece. She don't remember even meeting him. She got herself home, throwing up, really sick that day. 2 months later, she found out she had been raped. She was pregnant again. She's like, it's not that I don't love my son, but I don't know what happened to me. If you go on Google of drugs that cause sleepwalking, in August of 19, I had a drug test for Ohio Catholic Bank. I went upstairs and the manager was complaining. She had so many drugs in her system. It would have knocked out a horse. They said she's helping the FBI with a case and nobody's to say a word. They found Valium mixed with a bunch of other drugs. There are fake sodium pentothal. Valium alone in a high dose will make you sleepwalk without the legal drugs. And they had their own concoction. At Faith Family Church, they were bragging to people they had mind-controlling drugs and they could control anybody for 4 to 6 hours. As if you people don't know what a roofie is. Dear God, I went out to eat with this guy that was 80 and he had lost his girlfriend and he said he just needed someone to talk to. And we just ordered hamburger, water, and coffee. He looked at me and said, "You're pretty." And I'm like, "Thanks." He's like, "You want to live with me?" I thought we were just meeting as friends, but I'm like, I looked at him, I said, "Can I finish my hamburger first?" And I just made a joke out of it. And I'm like, "Dear God, we just met." But we were talking about things. He said, "I've heard of those roofies. You can slip them to a woman. She'll sit and talk to you real nice. You can take her home and do whatever you want to her, redress her, leave her somewhere, and she don't know what you did to her." I sure as hell didn't leave my coffee and water near him because he's sitting there giggling about it. He said, "I've even heard of those roofies." There's over 10 to 20 prescription drugs in high doses will make you sleepwalk without the legal ones. The Marshall's kid moved out of this area for safety. She said it's not safe for me to go get a drink somewhere. I'm moving out of here. They better watch her. They probably have a drug and told us that. Mike didn't even know how he got home, didn't know how he changed his shoes. And I don't know what happened, if something happened in his family or if the cartel tried something with him. He left everything, almost everything behind and fled. But it's right on Google. The prescription drugs that cause sleepwalking. Oh, and as if anybody's never heard of LSD and all the other ones that make you sleepwalk. Seriously? And all the legal drugs? That you walk around like a zombie? Huh? And don't remember the 1960s where the hippies would take drugs and freak out and walk around hallucinating? I don't want to even hear people acting stupid. Bill from the Freemason, your scam to get in the drug cartel was so stupid it cost thousands of drug cartel people to go to jail. Thousands, because you pulled this on here. Thousands, where they ordered you to take care of Michelle. Thousands, because of your stunt. Your scam. Your stupid scam. Thousands were taken out of Ohio and sold. It was in 20 or 21, something like that. 521,000 U.S. citizens were human trafficked. The FBI and U.S. Marshals found hundreds that they took. I have met victims' families. And even from the Florida drug cartel that was bragging they were hurting me, that their family members were taken. I can cry with these people. I can cry over them. I can report it daily. And every time I see one of them, I tell everybody. And it's not like I don't have a police officer near me or an agent. And they already got him. But I warn everybody, they're seen here. I was working at a senior care place, a 2-client lived. This one lady, I got a text message how her friend, they walked up and shot him in the car and killed him. Said it's bad as when they took my family member and they laughed, they tied her up and cut her in pieces. That's how they killed her. And they would show up in stores and laugh at her for how they killed her family member, that it was so funny. Just like they laughed at me in front of people. Like my one client said, Karen, this is crazy. People admitting to drugging you and telling you to say it before. Admitting to raping you in front of people in stores. I'm like, stay out of it. I'll tell the police. They would brag it everywhere and laugh at me how they framed me. I looked at her, I said, people are sick. People are sick. I'm sorry. You want to see a picture of her? She was beautiful. I took a deep breath and I said, did you know about the guy in the white van? How'd you know about the white van that took my family member? I took a deep breath and she lives in Louisville too. I said, did you see the big truck guys that said they were from Florida? She said, yeah, they were in the bars. And her and her boyfriend would go there. I said, they said they were drug traders. Yes, they did. I said, did you know of Henry Moffey? Sounds about right. He was with him. Show her the picture from Facebook. That's not him, but he is with him. And then we went through some other stuff. She said, now I want you to tell me how you knew about the guy in the white van. I didn't have the heart to tell her. She was drinking with her family members' killers. Marlisa, my old house manager, her niece was taken on Christmas of 2018 by the guy that tried to kidnap me in front of Terry Coberly. It's documented and verified. I was framed before by the police and the FBI, has it documented and verified. I was framed before, and it was a drug cartel. Like those lady agents a week ago Saturday, those police up there better not be saying one bad thing about her with what's going on and who did this. It was a drug cartel. And Bill from the Freemasons, your scam is stupid. Your scam was stupid. Stupid. A dirty doctor in it with killers. Are you fucking kidding me? It wasn't even my doctor. Huh? I wonder if it's just some guy saying he's a doctor. Huh? Photoshopping and washing, date rape, amnesia, drug confessions, and stocking tapes. How stupid are you? What a stupid scam. And they're ordering you to take care of Michelle. You're the one that came up with a stupid scam. And they didn't hire you in 6 years later? Get the idea. Well, I think they thought that they were going to extort money out of the government. The whole thing they were waiting for was to get the government money, thinking they were all going to have millions. See, that's where I was willing to die to save my children when Dave threatened to kill them all. I still have a hard time wrapping my mind that John and Josh were involved in it. For Dave's girlfriend, and as if she didn't know. Having me drugged, beaten, raped, almost murdered by the Florida drug cartel, drugged and told to say stuff, Photoshop washing in an asinine stunt after they tried to have me killed and have me beaten, raped under drugs. And that fucking Dixie telling Jen on April 6th, now I have 3 weird memories. I never even had my neighbors in my home, and the only 2 police officers I talked to was August 8 of 18, light in a security system at midnight. Told me it looked like an alien orb, angry spirit, and told me to buy a dog and let a dog handle it. They didn't want bothered. Okay. I only had family and repair guys. Okay, in my home. I have 3 weird memories. The sound of marching footsteps. I thought it was a nightmare, but it was a drugged haze of a white arm with expensive white dress shirt with gray pinstripes and a giant needle coming at me and the room going dark. I remember screaming at the top of my lungs, feeling like my back was being ripped open to my sternum, and every cell in my chest and body is screaming in agony. And I can't see and I can't breathe. Amy thinks they were smothering me. Now, Dixie, Melissa's had the group of people that they hire to watch her and do those things to her. Melissa had that done to me. Then put her in jail. Poor Dave. Had to sit in the basement while she had wild sex with other men. I don't blame him for what they did to her. I don't blame Dave at all. Who let him in? The doors were locked, Dave did. And to find out that fucking bastard sat in the basement and listened to my wails as I'm screaming in agony, as other men are beating, raping me, under drugs, and I just wake up with giant bruises, throwing up, muscle pain, almost passing out, in a severe personal infection. And he listened to that as he sat in the basement. Getting the idea how sick this is? You know, and then you got to think about Melissa's kids. What would they actually say to the FBI? Since it's an FBI case, I mean, think about it. Think about it. They say, what is your problem? Under police surveillance, we got you friends with Michelle. And you telling the kids to lie. Under police surveillance in a legally bugged house, your kids state they want the girlfriend to get the house. And they were making everything up, and they were games of pretend, laughing in the basement. And it was for the girlfriend to get the house. What is your problem? They would even look at John. We have you in a legally bugged house defending your mom that nobody could ever say anything bad about her. Defending her that it'd only be made up because of the divorce and moving out. And you're defending her that no one can say anything bad about her. And then you ask her to watch her kids in 19. Ask them to babysit them. Kenzie, Carrington, and Noah. So what is your problem? And even Josh, we have you defending your mom. And you having your mom watch your kids in 2018 and 2019. So what is your problem? And then look at Dixie. It is not illegal when somebody asks you if they can tape you on a cell phone, and you know you're being recorded, that you give them your permission on tape. So what is your problem? And an attempt extortion out of the government is a federal crime. Out of anybody is a federal crime. Drugs, threats, and the attempt of any extortion, rape, is racketeering. What they did is also cyber stalking, any kind of electronic device of monitoring somebody. Trying to find out information to steal money or destroy that person. Sextortion and cyber stalking. You also have kiddie porn of little kids going potty. Child pornography. Human trafficking and attempted murder, kidnapping, and drug charges. Now, how many more do you want? Now you're going to tell me my 2 boys, where they defended me to the limit, were in it with Dave and that girl. So I'm sure Dave went to him and cried and cried and cried. You have to help me so I can get everything or I won't have anything. They should have told him, it's your fault, you're cheating. It's your fault, you're cheating. See, that's where they have families, careers, and they would lose everything and go to jail 20 years or more. I have a hard time wrapping my mind around it, but if they were part of having me harmed for Dave's new girlfriend in the cartel, to show off that they'll kill somebody, even their own mother, and that they're offered money by the cartel to help out, you put them in jail. You put them in jail. And my stomach and my heart is tight. I'm scared for my grandkids. I'm scared for them. And, my thing was, when this was over, when the FBI gives me my money, I wanted to take my kids and move out of here. Especially if I got my Trekasami money and get them to a safer place. I almost died to save him. I still have a hard time. I know Dixie's involved 100%. Josh is involved. He's so stupid. He has everything. Because who would kill their own mother for money? Who would kill their own mother for their father and his new girlfriend? Have her drugged and framed, photoshopped, and by the drug cartel, and beaten, raped for the entertainment of his new girlfriend. And expose your children to such vile animals. They want to be a part of the human traffickers, then put them in jail. They'll kill for money, put them in jail. They'll have somebody drugged for fake confessions, beaten, raped, put them in jail. They're dangerous. They're part of selling. The Florida group admitted they were taping in the bathroom. And they even sold kiddie porn. They want to be child molesters. Like that retired CIA agent, you knew of the tapes before and you didn't report it to the police? And they were taping those children go in the bathroom? You're going to go to jail for child pornography. Put him in jail. Put him in jail. I'm so proud of Danny and Jen standing up to him. We want nothing to do with this. We want nothing. That's what they should have said. That's what everybody should have said. But Bill passing out money to everybody. Making it a game for people to help out to show up and harass me or hurt me. Huh? Running his scam here? Gonna get him? Like that Indian family. It's that creepy Bill from the Freemason paying everybody to show up and say stuff to her and harass her and do things. Where they said, you tell that guy Will. That was to pull the scam here, that it was ruined. When Michelle told on him, that wasn't her doctor. That's even the drug cartel ladies. Michelle told on him that it wasn't her doctor. They never fell for it. They called you dumb. The FBI called you dumb, Bill from the Freemasons. They called you dumb. That you'd even try such a dumb stunt with them, and they already knew it was altered. They could tell. It sounded mechanical. Where the police said we always knew, they drugged her and told her to say it before, and we always knew it was photoshopped or washing yourself in the shower. You never fool the cops or the feds. They wanted everybody involved. But they think you're dumb. Realize it. Tell that guy Will up there for the scam he was supposed to pull here to get in to join us. That it didn't work. Michelle told on him. Told on all of them. The girls walking by laughing. Tiny shorts. Michelle told on him that it wasn't her doctor. No one can say a word to her and we're laughing. Michelle, you need to get to the police and you need to get them to get a hold of Officer John or Mark or the FBI. Maybe you can do a witness protection program. 95% of the people in the witness protection program are criminals. And they give you money and immunity if you got more people you can rat them out to. They're ordered to take care of you. They will probably kill you if you don't. They tortured me, crushed my skull in. You know that. Human trafficked me, drugged me till I lost 70 pounds. That shooting night up there. I had to hide not to get killed. Almost got shot in the head driving 6 stalkers. And you ruined a scam. What will they do to you? Get to the police department. Have them get a hold of Officer John or Mark. Stark County Sheriffs would know who he is. Or the get a hold of the FBI, mention the case, and that you want to talk to Agent John and see if you can't cut a deal. They will kill you. They dismember people. I talked to a retired CIA agent. She said every time I talk to you, it's like talking to mafia mama. You can tell you've been around the human traffickers. The way you stand, the way you act. I said, well, they'd scream at me that I was too heavy, wear this, don't wear this, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, yell at me. And she said, you need to be careful. The special outfit will come out. I said, I heard of that. She said, that means you're sold. She said, do you know that Texas group is so dangerous, all law enforcement is after them. They've killed FBI and CIA agents. Do you know they dismember people? I said, I heard that. They work in families. I know that. Do you know they walk up to people in cars and just shoot them? I said, I heard that one too. Where I go up into Akron, Karen's Will's still open. We all know it's part of the nationwide human trafficking scam. We all know that. Now I'm going to, that or they call it Karen around the house. Get to a police station, Michelle. Seriously. You know what the cartel will do to you.